Caroline, welcome to Home with Friends.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here today.
I'm so excited for you to be here. Okay, so pumped. These, never heard of them till you told me you love them. And I went to resident culture yesterday to get them. And he said 2.5 or 5 milligram. And I'm like, surely 5, right?
Yeah, why not?
So here we are. So then last night I had one because I was like, I didn't know if we were going to have them this morning. I'm like, let me drink one tonight and see
how'd you feel?
How I am. And I felt great. Cheers.
Twinkies.
It wasn't too much. How are you? How's this week?
I'm good.
Blake being husband of the week with flowers this week?
No. Okay, wait. No, it gets crazy. He did like the most insane thing last night. It was so shocking. I asked him to go for a date. I was like, check yes or no. Like during the workday, we don't talk. So I was like, you want to like go for a date? And he's like, I already made reservations. I was like, oh, okay.
Ooh.
And I was like, where? And he said, it's a surprise. I was like, okay. So got home. We went to, if you haven't been, you should go. It's called Bar One. It's in Matthews, this tucked away little spot. And it has, the food is insane. It's a tapas place. The guy, I think, is from like New York. I could be wrong, but I mean, every good chef is from New York. Let's be real.
Say, we'll just assume.
Come on. If you're from New York, I like you. Or New Jersey, same place.
Yeah.
So went there. He had like this whole thing like curated. So we had like cocktails, whatever. And then we had an appetizer. While we were there, he got like sushi from my favorite sushi place, Somi, which if you haven't been there is amazing. Like secretly, but like didn't tell me. He's like, okay, we have some other stops that we have to go. So then we went to, we call it the Timsy Temple, but it's like Carolina Beer Temple. So we stopped there and then got home. And he like made my favorite appetizer, which is like shishito peppers.
Oh my God.
And he made me like a nice teriyaki steak.
Oh my God.
And then I thought it was done wrong. He had this like 7-layer like mousse cake. And I'm like, dude, you're...
Like just because, truly just because.
So like big things have been happening and I can't like spoil it now. Big things in 2026, I will say that. So I can't spoil it. I can't.
This is something major.
Very huge. So exciting things. So we were celebrating that. His business has been going great. Life has been going good.
Congratulations.
And which is funny because I'm on this podcast today. We actually just paid our final student loan last month. So we are like debt free other than our home and business mortgages.
That was a question.
Woo!
Wow.
And like it's been a grind. So
wow, good for you guys. So you were celebrating.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Life, and like I said in my vows, I hope everybody finds your Blake because dang, I am.
Aww, that's so sweet.
He's amazing. So, and you know him.
I
so
love
he's
that
the
for you,
best.
and I love Blake. He's the best.
He's the best.
Oh my God, great. Okay,
great night. We had so much fun.
Amazing way to start.
Laughed so hard, which is my favorite. So
cute. Okay, so we'll start there. So we'll start by talking about your career and what you do for work, and then we'll get into the home buying experience. So tell me what you do.
Okay, so I am a sports chiropractor. I'm at Carolina Sports Clinic South Park. I am our clinic director there, so I just kind of like make sure everyone's happy. That's really my job. And then my good friend Chelsea is our like director of PTs there, physical therapist. So we have physical therapists and chiropractic. We also have massage therapists, and then we partner with a company that does personal training. So we have like a multifaceted unit there, which is awesome. And a lot of people I think are like, oh, you're chiro, blah, blah. But it's like, it's soft tissue, it's cupping, it's needling, like the list goes on.
Wait, I don't think there's like a stigma with chiros.
You would be surprised. Like so many people are like, oh, you're chiro.
What?
Yeah. Oh, it's rattling to me.
Wait, I swear I wouldn't think that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like esteemed position, if you will. You know what I mean?
I would love to think that, but I think because of the old ways of practicing of like you're going in for treatment and you're just getting like a rack and a crack, that's I think what people have in their mind, and that's what they think it is, but it's so much more. And obviously I'm biased, like CSC is the best. Actually we are the best of the best. We got 2025 best of the best for chiropractic and acupuncture, so I can say that.
Did they just announce those? Was it
like in April? But so that's what I do. I also do neurofunctional acupuncture, and then I am also a performance coach. So community is like where I thrive, and I want to build up women. I want to build up men. I want to build up small businesses. So that's kind of like, kind of what we do. And I also do personal training. I only have 2 clients. I've had them forever. I'm a little, I love an extra dollar. So I'll do anything for it.
Who doesn't? And didn't you meet your husband in chiro school?
So, yeah, crazy story. We did not go to the same chiro school.
But wait, before you say it, I was like making notes and I'm like, I feel like they met at like a chiro camp.
Could you imagine? Summer camp for chiropractors.
Literally, like, wasn't it like Florida?
You go and crack each other's back. No, I'm dead. It is Florida. You have a really good memory.
Okay, thank you.
So it's Chiro Games.
Chiro Games. Okay,
so much more.
Thing.
No. I mean, yeah, but no, it's like summer camp. I think of like, immediately I think of the Blob when I think of summer camp. Like, I'm like, that is where I am, or like flag football.
So what's Chiro Games?
So like you go only chiropractic schools. So there's only like 19 in the entire country. There's not a whole ton of schools if you didn't know that. It's like 19 or 20 schools. There's not really a ton of them. So you all go, you participate in sports, so basketball, soccer, all that stuff. The funny thing is I normally play soccer, but that year they didn't have enough teams, so I just by chance played basketball, and Blake, number 33, was playing basketball too. 33. And it's funny because, I mean, I'm from New York, I'm Sicilian, I've always dated dark hair, dark skin. That's kind of like my MO. And then here comes this like all-American farmer, blonde hair, blue eyes. And I'm like, wow, who are you? And yeah, so we met. I literally met him one time. I thought I never was going to see him ever again. And now in September, we're celebrating 3 years of marriage and 9 years of being together in like November. January, which is crazy.
That really
So I literally was like, see you never. Incorrect. Now we're married. And like, granted, we both were in the same profession, but I wasn't even supposed to go to Chiro Games that year. Like, I figured out like 48 hours before we went. And literally the night before I met Blake, I was on the phone with my mom and I was like, I think I'm just like done dating. And I was like, I'm just so sick of it. Like, I'm not going to date until I'm at like out of chiro school. And then I met Blake. And the funny thing is he, I guess, had the same conversation. Like, we both were going just like let loose, have a good time. Wow. And I think just the stars aligned for us. But also too, and I know a lot of people on here might not know my husband. You will know him, I guess, after this. But he's so easygoing. And I think both of us went in with like zero expectations. So having that, but also like supportive and not, like, he was in Dallas, he was going out with his friends. I was in New York, I was going out with my friends. I was studying, he was studying. Like, we were aligned, but not aligned, if that makes sense. But it just like worked, and we didn't put any like ties on it. Like, we had zero money, and we were flying back and forth to Dallas when
you were?
Oh yeah, like,
okay.
For 2.5 years we did long distance.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a long time. And it's funny because we were talking about it last night. I'm like, how did we end up here? Like, look at, we were sitting at, we just redid our like dining room. And it looks so good, by the way. It's like so moody. It's just like gorgeous. It's everything that we dreamed of. And we were just like relishing, listening to music, enjoying our dinner. And we were like, how are we here in our home, married? Like, it was so crazy. But I feel like too, just to have like a successful marriage and a successful relationship, you got to celebrate the wins. You got to celebrate those moments and like remember what you did to get to this place.
Well, I think when you find the right partner and you have a really good, healthy, supportive relationship, you're going to be even more successful. Yeah. That's why you guys are where you're at. Wow. Did you use an interior designer for your room, or you did it all on your own?
No. Well, okay. So yes and no. Yes and no. So my friend Brooke is an interior designer. She is honestly kind of like big time in Portland, Oregon.
Did she give you like mood boards, like inspo?
I had a lot of stuff because I like the like dark colors, I like earthy colors, I like moody stuff, I like the golds, I like the blacks. So like the whole room, we actually color drenched it, and like it's called cracked pepper. And then
what does color drench mean?
Color drench is like ceiling, trim, everything.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So you walk in and it feels like kind of speakeasy vibe. Yeah. And then Blake and I love golf, so we picked our favorite like major golf courses, and we found these beautiful prints off Amazon, which was insane. So I just found some cool like black frames. We framed them around the room, and then we put like gold sconces, and it just looked so sick.
Wow.
So it's really slow process. I mean, like this is like we're finally starting to get stuff done in our house, but like Blake owns his own practice. I'm at the office all the time. It's really hard if like one or the other is not working from home. So we're doing our best.
Oh, well, good for you. I want to see pictures when we're done. Okay, so I do think chiropractors, or going to the chiropractor specifically, in my opinion, is polarizing for some reason. Like, it's hard to convince someone to go to a chiropractor. But if you tell someone to go get a massage, they're happy to. You're giving a massage as a gift, right? Like, why do we think that is? You kind of said it's because of the old practice and way it was. I would think it's more like people are scared that like you're gonna crack my neck and paralyze me.
Yes. No, and you're exactly right on that. Like, it's so hard because obviously, unfortunately, you know, those things can happen. You don't ever hear about like these crazy tragic stories happening in surgery or medical doctors. It's always chiros. Like, it's always like, oh, they, you know, like caused a dissection or something else. That's what it's called. It's called an arterial dissection. It's actually like really hard to do. It's safer to go to the chiropractor than even like flying an airplane statistically. And also like that's because of underlying causes. So it's either one of two things. Like the history was not done properly and not enough information was gathered from that patient. And or sometimes it happens where like the patient doesn't think that's a necessary item or like piece of information that they need to tell. Like, I've had people come in and I'm like, okay, did you have any surgeries? And they're like, no. And then they're face down and I like, you know, pull their shirt up. I'm like, okay, there's like a massive scar this big. So did you have surgery? Oh yeah, I had back surgery. You know what I mean? So I think that it's so crazy, but like it literally happens all the time. I literally am like, okay, I just have like, all right, that's neither here nor there, but whatever. Okay, massive surgery. Anyways, anywho, like I can't. So I understand the fear, but our education is so in depth. Like, we go 4 years undergrad, it's 4 years of our doctorate. You know, we're literally studying neurology, pathology, biochemistry. Like, our base knowledge is identical to a medical doctor's. The largest difference is we do a year and a half of residency. They do 4 years of residency. We're not doing surgery, but we still have neuro where we're like going in, we're dissecting the brain, we're dissecting, you know, the spinal cord. It's actually the craziest thing. And like, school is really freaking hard. Like, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. I lost years of my life during school, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I love what I do, but I think it's just where massage, everybody's like, oh, I want a massage, which we do a lot of soft tissue. And then I think in general, the adjustment piece might scare them.
Right.
So if I have a patient like that, I just try to like build trust, build a relationship. And then I'm like, hey, listen, like, I'm really not going to put you in harm's way. And then also just in general, and I'm not, you know, not getting into the politics of it, but COVID in general, like as a virus, so I'm not talking about the vaccine or getting the vaccine, I'm not talking about anything. I'm just talking about as a virus as a whole has kind of created this multifaceted, you know, autoimmune issues and or like arterial problems. There's a lot of stuff and studies that are going on now that it's like just the pandemic itself has caused issues with heart, with blood, with lymphatics, with fertility. So there's a lot of studies going on with that too. So it's just like knowing how to ask the questions to like get you to the point if you adjust or don't adjust.
Okay. Understood. Justice for the chiros.
Yeah.
Justice for the chiros.
Exactly.
No, I feel like that's really important, everything you just said.
Yeah.
I love the comparison of having the same background in education as a medical doctor. And the doctors don't do anything. Like, the nurses do everything. I shouldn't say that. Like, justice for the doctors too. But you know what I mean? It's like, okay.
Justice for the doctors
You're practicing it all day, every day.
Yeah. And like, honestly, I said this too, because I know, you know, there's a lot of MDs who have a lot to say about chiropractic, and you know, I respect them. We have so many great relationships, you know, but there's been times where I've talking to them and they're like, oh, you take pathology, oh, you took biochem, like they don't even know. So like, in my defense and our chiro and you know, and all the kind of more preventative medicine practitioner like defense is maybe just educate yourself a little more before judging. And also, if Western and Eastern medicine combined, I mean, we could literally conquer the world together. And I just wish that more people would have the mindset of like collaboration versus like, you know, competition. That's what's happening at the top. People aren't competing with each other. They're collaborating. Yep. And that's what really needs to happen.
I love a chiropractor, for the record.
We love that.
I love it. It feels so great. It's funny though, I can't really watch videos like on Instagram and stuff. I can't watch people like get their neck rocked. Like
that's also like that's one of my patients asked me about that the other day. I was like, okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. Okay.
No. Not your video.
No, a lot of people do that though. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like intense videos of like these crazy contortions and whatever. I'm like, I can't even look at that. Fair. I know it probably feels amazing. And like, I would actually let you do it to me. Like, I don't want to watch someone else do it. But no, it's great. And I do love it. And I need to get back in there. How do you feel about people cracking their own necks?
So, great question.
Okay.
Actually, adjusting your own neck, like if you're like stretching like this, fine. But a lot of people put like that unnecessary rotation.
Yeah.
So, for example, when we go to adjust, we actually like separate the joints and then we put you in lateral flexion and then we adjust you. So see how there's like all this space for the joint to move? Mm-hmm. When people adjust their own necks, they don't really give themselves lateral flexion. So they're actually just putting rotation in their neck and like it's really intense. So instead of opening up the joints stay tight and then it's a very high velocity like adjustment. So there's no space to open like this to get a really actually like good cavitation. And so it can actually cause like the more you do it can cause like cervical instability. And that's when you run down the problem is like people don't understand they're actually doing. So like let's just say someone does that 90 times a day.
Oh yeah, there are people. It's almost like a habit. Like this.
Yes, all the time. Yep. And then they go see a chiro and then something happens and it's like, well, maybe you didn't know that you actually were causing that yourself
for the last 7 years.
However many years.
Wow.
So,
wow.
It's a trickle down
Good to know when I see someone crack their neck, I'm going to yell at them.
Yeah. You shouldn't do that. Just slip on my business card.
True.
Just be like,
true. I'll be like, sounds like you need to go to
That's
Caroline.
what I do on deadlifting day. I'm like, see you later.
And okay, you mostly work on athletes? Is that true?
Yeah, so we do athletes, sports. We work with a lot of professional sports teams locally. And then actually recently, we have had this huge wave of like pregnant moms and I'm here for it. Like I got my certification. I will never forget, like my boss was like, Caroline, you really like, you should get this. I'm like, no. I don't want to treat pregnant women like how dare I? I can't believe I even said that. Just like so naive. As a woman myself, like geez. Yeah, I was just like that and I was like, no, sports only.
Okay.
Let me tell you, I love my moms. Moms, come to me. If you're pregnant, come to me. If you have a baby, come to me. We have pelvic floor as well. And we take insurance, just saying. A lot of people don't. It's all cash. But they're just so grateful to...
Oh, it's probably so relieving.
Yes, and like honestly, sometimes athletes, being one myself, it's tough because they think I'm like a miracle worker and I can treat them and make them better in one day. And I'm like, I can't. I wish.
Yeah.
I'd be a bajillionaire if I could.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I think I would say like 98% of my patients are amazing. There's always that 2% that little stinkers that make me work a little harder.
It's a nice way to put it.
Okay. I know, right? I gotta like, keep it G. You don't want me to fly off the handle. But yeah, like I've enjoyed treating pregnant women. It's really cool to watch them evolve. I've had women come in who like they've never seen a chiro before and then they're pregnant and they come in and I just think it's amazing.
How pregnant can you be? Can you still come in at 9 months?
Yeah, I see people all the way up in 2 and then like we can't like technically say we induce, but we'll do like acupuncture to just like move some things along.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. And then I also treat babies as well.
That's literally in here. Because I saw that on your Instagram as well. That's insane to me. Is that scary?
It was, I think, at first.
But then I was like, wait a second. Babies are so flimsy and flexible and they're all like cartilage that it's probably easier.
Yes, it's way easier. Like I literally like touch them and they're like adjusting. And when you go through the birthing canal, whether it's like if it's a vaginal or cesarean like birth, that's actually one of the most traumatic things your body ever goes through. Yeah. So like you have infants who have like torticollis, which is like their neck's kind of stuck here, or they have reflux, or they're colicky and they have issues sleeping. A lot of this can happen because like they're just shrimps. So you're a little shrimp for 9 months, right? Like think about you're all curled and then people want to hold you all the time. So like the best way I describe it is like you try to eat in your bed all shrimped up and gulp milk are you not going to spit that up? Like, have you ever tried to eat laying down and you're like, oh God, it's like stuck right here. Like, we've all been there.
Reflex heartburn immediately.
And then you like drink water standing up and you're like, oh, that's so much better. It actually went down. But like, yeah, so like that's like the best way. And obviously babies are just, everyone wants to hold them. We don't talk about like extension, and it goes along because in general, we're just like forward flexed creatures, like humans. We're always here, but we need that extension in our spine. It helps open everything up.
Let me sit up straight.
So like when you get adjusted too, a lot of times we're putting an extension in those joints to help open it up and like get you to where you need to be.
Did you have to do special training for babies?
Yeah. So Webster, it's like the ICPA. So there's so many classes that you can take. So I took my my peds one, pre and postpartum, and then like Webster, and then there's like a laundry list of ones to do, but I'm still learning. I'm always learning.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed it. Like I have some moms that I've treated through 3. It's insane to say because I'm like almost in my 5th year of practice, which I feel like it just flew. But I've had some moms where I've treated them through like 2 or 3 of their kids already. Wow. And now their kids are like growing up and I'm watching them grow up before my eyes, and they're my own patient. Well, I had a huge breakthrough with a toddler the other day because when she first came in, I mean, I feel bad because sometimes we're like, why am I here? You know what I mean? Yeah, she's like, I'm so nervous, like all the time. And when she left, she gave me like this huge hug, and it was such a milestone because like the first appointment to like now, fast forward, I'm like, God bless.
So cute. Yeah, she built trust.
Yeah,
you built trust.
I mean, I give her like unicorn squishies. She doesn't want one of those, so you know, gotta give the people what they want. So the community that we've built around that is it's pretty beautiful, and it's honestly just badass. Like I treat a lot of women that I'm still terrified to like have a baby and or carry a child and like do any of that. And you know, I'll get there. I'm getting over my fears. But like it's scary. And but so I admire doing that, and I think it helps me just see like strong moms. Like this morning on my run,
you overcome your fear.
I like ran by one of the moms in my neighborhood. I'm like, really? She's so badass. Like, you know, I think she has 2 or 3 kids. Like running it was like 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Like she's a physical therapist too. Like it just made me really like. She probably has no idea, but I'm just like admiring her on my run. I'm like, I hope I can do that. Like after I have kids.
How fitting for Mother's Day tomorrow.
Yeah,
happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Mother's Day. Honestly,
we love you, moms. You're the superheroes.
The queens.
Literally.
The queens.
Okay, I won't say names. I'll say you've worked with some NFL athletes.
Okay.
So do you have any tea you can share about high profile?
Sure. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
They definitely like want you at all hours. Like I think
you're entitled.
Yes. Like and yes and no. You know, like I'll just give it to you like this. One, I'm very blessed. I would say that my boss, and he hates when I call him my boss, but I don't care. I'm just gonna say it. So he's paved the way for me. You know, like without him, I don't think some of these professional athletes would have been trusting for me. Also, like, you know, it's unfortunate, but I am a female in a male-dominated profession. So, like, you know, it's challenging. Like, I've had NFL athletes, like, come in and they're like, why is a woman treating me? And then they get treatment and they're like, oh. And I'm like, hey, you know, don't knock it till you try it. Just saying. We're not too bad.
I have things in my mind, but
it's a little frustrating, but you know, it is what it is. Just kind of like you were talking about, like, unfortunately, we're just in some spaces that it's more male dominated, but I think we're climbing the ladder.
Yeah.
I think us women we're working.
We're doing great.
But in my head, before I got to where I am now, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to work for a sports team. I want to work for professional athletes. That's all I want to do. It is a grind because like imagine practicing all day. So I treat about like anywhere from 20 to 24 patients like a day. It gets a lot. It's like it's very exhausting emotionally and physically. I love my job. I love my patient, but it's challenging. And then you have to drive to wherever they live.
Oh, you're going to their homes.
Yep, sometimes can be an hour away, and then you're there for 2 hours, and then you drive an hour back. So that's like a 4-hour thing, and then it's a work night. You're working till 10, 11. You wake up the next day, do the whole thing, and then you get a message that it's like, hey, I would like some treatment after practice. Sometimes they don't get out of film till 8 p.m.
Oh, my God.
So,
yeah. Are they dogs? Do they try to hit on you?
I had, actually, before I was even a dog, I had one player one time, and I kind of had to have a discussion. I would say for the most part, like, you're gonna get really respectful people. I have not really had issues, like, since I'm like a practicing physician. And also too, like, I'm married. I talk about Blake all the time. I don't wear my wedding ring at work, but I do have a tattoo on my finger.
Oh, cute. And, what's the tat?
It's just B.
Wait!
Yeah. You have one too? B. It's B for Brit, actually. That's why I got it. But, you know, I try to talk about it. And, like, there has been times, like, I'll use this for, I was working an event and I, you know, got asked, I'm like, very flattered, super sweet, but I'm happily married and Blake's the best. So I don't care if you're a professional athlete. I don't care if you're worth like $5 billion. He is priceless. So I would never trade him in. So cheesy, but it's true. Yeah. Oh. So true.
Wait, I love that, Caroline. I love you guys.
He's the best.
That's really so sweet. Okay, so we need to get into real estate and money real quick, but I love that we just went into all that. That was great. Life. Well, with your career, so what is your long-term goal with your career? Like, as a chiro, you come out of school, I'm sure you have a salary. Is there upside there? Is the goal to own your own practice, build your own brand, do things on the side? What's your long-term goals?
Great question. So I've always had a dream. I wouldn't necessarily say, so like, I was very blessed. I'll just start with this. I was very blessed finding CSE. I found CSE at a very low point in my life. I was lost. I just didn't know. Like, I will actually have technically been with CSE for 10 years next year. So I started as an intern. I worked as a CA. I worked the front desk, and then like just kind of like has worked all the positions. After I met my boss, Josh, and after I met, or just like was in the CSE environment, I just knew that this is what I wanted to be a part of for a long time. So there's one of two things. You can either like go out and just open your own office with your own name or whatever. My aspirations is to partner with CSE and move forward in growing our brand. And like, I think in the perfect realm, you can grow the office and clinics brand while also growing your own brand. Yeah. And I think at first I was kind of struggling. Like, I was just like, me. And then I went to a lot of therapy. Therapy's great. And I was like, okay, I need to step back. So my dad's a small business owner. My oldest sister's a small business owner. I guess all my siblings are older than me. My brother's a small business owner. And then Justine is also like working in a foundation and does like nutrition on the side. So we're all kind of our own like entrepreneurs in our own way. So I knew I wanted to go that realm and also just support small businesses. Yeah. So getting out of school, I graduated during COVID. That was very hard. And
Where'd you go to school? Did you go to Syracuse?
So I went to Syracuse University, played lacrosse there, bleed orange, baby. Went to New York Chiropractic College on Seneca Falls, like Lake. But I did have 1 year where I was actually in Vermont at Castleton University as a strength and conditioning coach. That's what I thought I wanted to do first. Also, Vermont is sick. Like, it's the best place I've ever lived. It's beautiful.
Never been.
Oh my God.
Never been.
We'll go.
Never been.
Let's book the trip now.
Oh my God.
Because
my friend Anna would love to come too.
It's gorgeous. It's literally gorgeous. Wait, is Anna the one I treat?
No. I don't know. I feel
like I have like 50 of your friends.
I try to refer people to you.
HIPAA. Oh, yeah. I don't even know that. But, didn't use a last name. Anyway, but my aspirations was to do that, and then just really like, I think 2 years ago, actually prior to Blake and I getting married, a lot of people would be like, do you love Charlotte? And I was like, I like it. I don't love it. And now when people ask me, I'm like, I love it because I built a community. And that's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to build a community. I wanted to see my future in CSC grow. And I think, you know, there's a lot of excited things coming that are in the woodwork. So I can't spoil anything, but it's fun stuff. And I think just the best advice I have for young docs or professionals coming out is like go find a practice that you love, associate for a couple of years, figure out what you like, what you don't like. Because I think a lot of people come out and they think it's going to be easy to start on their own. You have no idea. You don't know how, like, just the table I treat on in general is $9,000. One table is $9,000. So like, imagine coming out of like school. You have, mind you, school is $250,000. It's very expensive. You have no money, and maybe you have undergrad debt too.
Yeah.
Okay. You're fighting for your life. You graduate during COVID. Terrible. I did graduate 420. Fun fact. And like you're like, what do I do now? So like in my opinion, I've seen it. My boss actually opened up. He killed it. Like, I think he associated for like a year, and then he opened up on his own. And obviously CSC is a phenomenal brand. But for me personally, I think just the route that I went is I wouldn't change a thing, because it's good to get knowledge of how kind of fatiguing it is. I didn't realize that. And then also like to kind of educate yourself on some of the business things. I think if you go right in, you've never had that experience or seen how a clinic is run. So I think it can be a little dicey if you go that route.
Yep, for sure. So how long did you and Blake save for before purchasing a home? Because you were February 2024 you purchased. So you just been in there a little over a year.
Yep.
Okay. And you were married September 2022.
Yep.
Did all my recon last night.
I was like, wow. I don't even remember this.
So you were together for a couple of years before you bought a home together.
Yes.
Actually, 2 questions. Was that important to you? Did you want to be married first? Or did that not really matter?
It mattered to me. I think I at least wanted to be engaged. There was one conversation. He's like, I think we should look at a house. And I'm like, no, I'm not buying a house unless you commit to me. I was, I think especially, I just think all people are jaded by their past. And I'm like, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I don't want to put down a very large amount of money with somebody who can't even, why would I commit to a property? And I'm not like dogging on people who've done this, because I've seen it work out. Exactly. You can, I've seen it work out and it's fine. And maybe for that moment that worked best for you guys. So whatever, like this is not towards you. Don't take things personally. Okay. But like, on my opinion, I'm like, why would I commit to you at a very large sum of money when we already we really didn't have that much money at that point before you commit to me in a relationship? That was just no. So he also, and I respect him for this. Like, we are both religious, and I know he wanted to like respect his parents, and I respect that so much. And I'm so sorry, mom and father-in-law, for this, but like I wanted to live with him before we got married. I feel like you got to figure out your idiosyncrasies. You got to figure out how each other's, and also we're long distance. Make or break. Yeah. So like 2.5 years of long distance and move in, like what happens if we hate each other? Crazy. So like I just wanted
smart.
I just kind of wanted to do this, but we were together for a long time too. So we purchased in 2024. We moved to Charlotte in 2020. So a little over 4 years. And it was a grind. I mean, I can't even tell you, because just having COVID and not being able, for me, like I wasn't able to work for a full year. Blake wasn't able to work for like, I think 4 or 5 months. He ended up getting a job at like Gaylor Electric, and I was personal training on the side. We were just fighting for our lives. Because boards were canceled. You couldn't take your state jurisprudence. So like legally we weren't able to practice because we couldn't take the accreditations we needed. He had everything he needed. I couldn't take my jurisprudence. The list just goes on.
Were you using credit cards? Like, how were you funding your life?
We were living like way below our means.
Literally paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, yep. Way below our means. I mean, I really do have to shout out, it's funny because I've been on a lot of podcasts. I'm like, oh my gosh, I never talked about Blake. Now this is like all about Blake. But like he's seriously like, so I had, I think 8 or 9 personal training clients. I worked at CSC. So I was like, making an hourly wage, and then my personal training clients. And then I had some online clients. And then like he was working at Gaylor for a little bit. Once he actually got into the realm of like treating, he was pretty much like paying for our rent and his loans. Like we were also paying like max amount of student loans. So that's like another reason. Like everything we had went to those loans. So like if we got a paycheck for $2,000, it was going right to the student loan. So like we were just living so below our means. We were driving junk cars around. We lived in, you were at my other house once, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a cute little house, but like, a little sketchy for some people. But like for me, I loved it. It was a great, cute little neighborhood. Nothing ever happened to me. I felt safe. But like, it was we paid $12.50 for rent for a 4-bedroom house in right out 10 minutes outside of Charlotte. That's unheard of.
That is unheard of.
So like we saw it. I didn't even care if the roof was going to fall through. I'm like, I'm in, let's do it. But I think because we lived like that for so long, we were able to buy the house that we have now and also like, you know, be debt free. It was really hard, especially
Good for you guys. I'm proud of you.
I really appreciate that because
welcome.
I think at that time too, that was kind of close when Brett and I became friends. I was watching everybody grow up faster than us, and it is hard to not feel like you're like keeping up with the Joneses, you know, like I mean, and those were like your guys' best years.
Those are our heydays.
You guys were just like this, and I'm like matched to cash. Like I was like, dang, like breaking it in, and
that's
I'm like,
so real.
$1.
Yeah.
So like it was,
but that's
really
why you
hard.
can never compare yourself.
You
though
can't.
You really can't because
You
those were
can't.
our high highs, and then we had our low lows when you were at your high highs.
Yeah, exactly.
You said that you put down 6 figures for a down payment. Was that a typo?
No.
Why did you put down so much money?
We put down 20%.
You know, it's funny because I did too. I did too on both of my houses, and like my friends would be like, "Why would you do that? You only have to put down 3% or 3% as a first-time home buyer, 5% after that." And I don't know. I blame my dad because growing up, I feel like back in the day, I don't know, it was just different. Maybe they were just like uneducated on the real estate and the financing side of it. But my dad just always said 20%, avoid PMI. You don't want to pay PMI. There was such a stigma around PMI. So I bought my house. I had the money for the first one. That's fine. I had it for the second one too. But like, I didn't really need to. I could have used that money to invest. And it was still something inside me. Even though I had been a loan officer for so long, I've been in the field. I advise people they don't have to do 20%. I tell people PMI is fine. Did 20%.
I think this is what it is. And I respect you for that because my parents, my grandfather was always like, if you can't pay for it 2 times, you should not buy that. So like with a car and anything else, he's like, if you can't put that 20% down 2 times, then you shouldn't even buy that house. So I think for us, it was also really funny story. Like right after we put the down payment down, we closed. I called Blake. I was at work. I was like, we got robbed. I completely forgot. We would have. Like I thought someone hacked our account. I was like so stressed. And he's like, babe, we literally bought a house. I was like, oh yeah. I totally forgot. Crazy. Yeah. The spiral it happens.
That's funny. How long before you realized it was the house? Like, did he answer the first call?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Did you imagine he didn't? And like all day you leave work, you freak out, you call the cops.
I went in, I was like, we have no money. It's gone. And also too, like, as you know, seeing that money like empty, I was like,
people say that to me. They're like, it's the visual of like not seeing it in my bank account anymore. I'm like, at the end of the day, it's all just numbers on a screen.
Yep.
But when those numbers aren't on the screen, okay, so we're gonna jump ahead. We have to kind of wrap up here, and I have a few more questions. So let me see here. How's the conversation around money between you and Blake? So you can kind of touch on, you know, money and your. Actually, no, because we know you and Blake are perfect, so your conversations are fine. Actually, no, don't answer that question.
It was actually hard. It was hard.
Was it?
Yeah. Fun fact. I was go ahead. I was like, not good.
Did you not want to bring it up to him? Did he not want to bring it up to you?
We hate talking about it in general.
Even to this day?
Yeah, we were going to talk about it like last night. We were having cocktails. Like, no, we don't need to talk about money. I was like, yeah, you're right. We're like, let's not go down there. But no, we're good. Like, we're good about it. But like, I think it's just, he has worked his absolute tail off. Yeah. And I think we're both very blessed to have been raised by 2 incredible sets of parents who have set us up for success financially and also like educated us on having a financial advisor. Like I've had a financial advisor my whole life. So I think the hard thing for me is like in my head, I was like, this is my money, you know? Yeah. But like for Blake, it's like we're married and this is our money. And I respect that. I love that.
He had that perspective.
And I think I just needed to be open to it. But I think too, it was just like I had a long period of time where like I just, you know, you're maybe in a relationship for a while and you split things and then it stopped. And I'm like, I just don't want to be ever in a position where something were to happen and I can't provide for myself.
Yep.
And like Blake and I do not like, again, this is my opinion. This is us. This is us. So this is nothing like, divorce is not a question. It's not a conversation in our household. We committed to each other. We will go through burning fires together. We will go through the darkest times of our lives together. Like and I know we're so young, and I know people might watch me and be like, oh yeah, but like, I don't care. Like, we're going to do whatever it takes to make it through. Yep. So and I'm not saying that, but there's always that apprehensive commitment's hard. Yeah. So I think that was one of the scary part, but we're good now. We're in a really good place. We do. I kind of like joke around, and I'm like, I have my offshore bank account in Binghamton that like I can't even go to. Like it'll take me 10 hours.
I don't think they're open anymore.
I have my parents on it still, but like, I think it's, we have a bunch of different accounts. I think it's just like,
but you have one shared one that you operate out of most things.
We have 3 shared accounts.
Okay.
4, I think. A lot. We just have, they're sprinkled for different things. We want to have we have like a money market account, that we opened a while ago. I mean, if you don't know anything about that, you actually accrue a lot of interest in a money market account. So like, if we have maybe some extra money that maybe we do need to move around quick, like we'll do it there. Majority of our funds go into our investment, but that's like an entirely different account. And then I have like my offshore account that I pretty much use for like Callahan and like our cleaners. My dog, he's the best. Callahan and like our cleaners, I don't know, or just like stuff like that. And then we just have like our checking, and then we have like another account that we just don't touch. I don't know. It's just like, we're just trying to save money, man. We're just out here trying to grind. We don't know what we're doing.
Who handles the money?
I would say it's split 50-50.
It is? Okay.
I can't read or write, so just kidding. I can, but like I choose not to. Also, funny story, and I'm sure we'll get to it, why the whole loan officer, God bless my loan officer, my just the whole squad who helped. They're like, Karen, did you read this? I'm like, no, I didn't read it at all.
You're like, just do it for me, tell me where to sign.
I'm like, please, exactly, I'll send you the money, and I don't really know. They're like, but you missed this. I'm like, oh, my bad, I didn't read it. But he like kind of handles like gas bills, all that stuff. And then we have like our account that was coming out of student loans. We just decided that instead of having that kind of like transaction of student loans, we are actually just going to like not even put it into our account. We're going to put it right in investments. So we're going to just like pretend like we're still paying student loans, not even change a thing, and just like shift accounts.
Wow.
So I think we've been living comfortably off what we have, and that's kind of like what we decided. We really try to be synonymous on it. There's a lot of conversations that's hard because he opened his own practice. Like, you're going to take a pay cut when you open your own practice. Like, it is what it is. Like, everybody knows when you start your own business, it's hard. So, like, but, like, he provided for us for a long time when I couldn't. And now it's maybe time for me to, like, pull my big girl pants on and just grind. And I think that's what we're doing. And we're very communicative in that realm. So we try our best.
I love that for you guys. What's been the most surprising home-related expense?
So the night before we closed, our realtor called us and was like, hey, so there's been a little bit of an issue. I think when they were removing their fridge, a line snapped, and they sent us a picture, and it was literally like this bubble of water. And we have real hardwood floors, so it was like in the wall, it was on the hardwood. I was like, dang. What? And so luckily they were like, well, we have to like do all this stuff if we put it in. And so we kind of ended up deciding, I don't know the legality of it, but we decided not to like touch our loan or the closing date or anything, because it was literally the night before. So we just were like,
what was going to happen? Did they agree to take care of it?
Yes. Yeah, they did. Okay. So we basically had to have someone come in. We had to have like a hardwood guy come in and put like vents all over the floor. My dad's also like a residential and commercial flooring homeowner. So he was flipping out. Like, he was like, you got to make sure. I mean, it can't, like, if you don't take care of real hardwood and there's water under it, it can cause mold and bowing and all the other stuff. And then plus the wall, it was directly behind the washer and dryer too. So like, it sucked because we were literally moving in, I think the next week. And like, we couldn't use our fridge, we couldn't use our washer and dryer. So like, it was just, that was a journey. And then like, fast forward to like maybe 3 weeks into living in our house, Blake was like, no, the HVAC is just working overtime because it's so hot. I'm like, I'm telling you, that's not how it works. And we have 2 because we have a 2-foyer.
Yeah, I have 2 too.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
God bless Stanley. Stanley is Blake's.
Who's Stanley?
I guess I could say friend/patient. I'm not using last name.
God bless Stanley.
Yes, God bless Stanley, because they quoted us like $3,800, maybe $4,000 more for them to fix our HVAC, and homeboy Stanley came in and fixed it just for a couple $100 and some treatments. Yeah,
and some treatments.
Yeah,
I love that negotiation.
I mean, dude, we got.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just.
No, good for Stanley.
So
I would have been
hard.
like, listen,
it's so hard. You got it. Just, I mean, like, it would have been a lot of money, and that was like, literally, okay, like, we bought a house and we bought a business within 6 months. Yikes. Okay,
yeah,
like, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't change a thing. But we were really operating on so below our means that I'm like, okay. And how we use our other accounts, we act like they don't exist.
Yep.
So if something like that happens, we don't, like, in our head, even though we have it, we just try to pretend it's not there. Yeah. So I would say that's kind of that so far. But we figured it out. We're good to go now. Thank God.
Besides that specific, like, repair, what's been like something you're paying for nonstop, or is there anything else home related?
Furniture is freaking expensive.
Yeah,
annoying.
I know. Well, that's
why Wayfair.
Wayfair
all day, baby.
Wayfair. Where else do I get my stuff? At Home.
Oh, At Home's good. And then I think my sister loves this place called Article, and it's I've
heard of it. I feel like they're more expensive now.
They're a little more expensive, but you can get, like, let's just say you really want to buy a quality piece of furniture. It's good, but not crazy expensive. You know, like, if you want a nice couch, like, I mean, we bought a lot of stuff from Wayfair. Wayfair is literally like my bread and butter. I have the app.
Yep.
I'm hearting things.
Too.
Oh my gosh. I mean, our dining table was like $2,500. We got it on sale for like $1,200.
Yeah.
It's also a pool table, ping pong table. Fun fact.
Oh, fun.
I mean,
wait, I want to play ping pong.
We like to have
I'm
fun.
like really good at ping pong.
All right, let's go. Let's
you?
have a little comp. I don't know, actually. Like, maybe I'm probably not that
You're
good.
an athlete.
I mean, we'll try.
Yeah.
I'm better at pool.
You're good at pool.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, furniture for sure. One of these is more about Blake, since this is Blake's podcast.
It is Blake's
literally,
podcast.
what are the pros and cons to having the same profession as your husband?
Good question. So pros are, like, if I'm struggling with a patient, he can kind of give me some feedback, like, hey, I would do this or I would do that.
Love that.
Cons is, like, we do talk about work a lot, but I think too, like, in general, you know, he's a business owner. I have aspirations to be a business owner. Like, I think we're just too like-minded when it comes to entrepreneurship, that we are just always trying to not just, like, better our businesses. And I hope my future employees, when the time comes, and Blake's employees, understand that, like, their happiness is our priority. Like, we might be a little different in that realm. I know that business is business, but we do really try to make our staff feel happy, feel supported, feel comfortable. Yeah. So I think that's what we talk about a lot, in different ways that we can, like, maybe, like, have those hard conversations without, like, some people don't really take confrontation or, like, conflict well. So it's most, like, you're dealing with, like, all these different types of personality, which is hard. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of that's a pro and con for us.
With home ownership, how long do you see yourself being in this home? And if you were to move, where in Charlotte would you move?
We love Matthews. I don't see us ever leaving Matthews, to be honest. Really? We just love it. Like, because it's far enough, but it's not too far. Because, like, I love Waxhaw, and I love the thought of, like, having this huge yard and all this stuff, but we have a big yard now too. And also, like, shout out to my Hampton Green squad. Our neighborhood is the freaking best.
Is that your street name?
It's the Hampton Green is our neighborhood. We had, like, a 55 plus person neighborhood Friendsgiving, and, like, we're all just so tight. Like, I literally, like, borrowed celery from my neighbor the other day, like, just to make something. Having like
good neighbors.
Yeah, and also too, we just have, like, there's so many amazing moms in that neighborhood that I love to just, like, watch and just I think it's funny because like, oh yeah, you guys are like, you know, young, you guys don't have kids. We're Trish, Ryan, myself, and Blake. We're like the only people in the neighborhood that don't have kids right now. We do have newer neighbors that moved right behind us. I don't think they have kids. Yeah, they don't have kids either. But there's not a lot of us like that. So like they always joke around.
They're living vicariously through you. At the same time, you're admiring them.
We're just waiting long enough so that their babies can watch our children, right, you know? Exactly. It's all about working the system. Yeah. So.
And they're going to start getting baby fever right at the time that you start having a baby, so they're going to want to help all the time. It's going to be perfect.
It's all about just curating the perfect experience. It really is. I love our neighborhood. I love Matthews. And also, too, like, Matthews is popping off. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of new things.
Well, this was years ago, but my parents lived in Mint Hill. I was in Mint Hill, Matthews all the time. And would you rent if you were to move, let's say, would you rent out your current home or would you probably just sell it? Like, is getting into the rental game something?
No, yeah, for sure. Okay. I've thought about, like, obviously, like, residential, but I think I definitely aim a little more towards commercial real estate just because I think that's small businesses. I want to be a part of, like, making their maybe dream happen. So I think, and also too, I think residents, you just like never know what you're going to get into. Yeah. Where like you might have quick turnover. And then like with commercial, I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to be working with these people for like 5 to 10 years.
Wow. So that's a good perspective.
That's kind of where my thought process is.
Do I want to get into commercial real estate?
Maybe. I have no idea what I'm doing ever. Wow. So like, yeah, just a thought.
I like that thought a lot. Like, maybe we go buy a commercial building together.
I'm in. Well, and then think about it. Like, you know, like if you purchase a space, you're going to have people renting out, they're upfitting it for you. And then it's just like, that idea. It's like,
I mean, obviously it's super expensive. Income. So if you can make it work.
Yeah. And you can start small. Like there's areas like I think, you know, without giving too much away, because I have no idea how much I can share and not share of like my husband's life. But like, you know, the small part of a strip that, you know, we kind of partnered and bought together of his building, you know, we're able to have and home other small businesses in there, and it just like pays the rent, you know what I mean? Yep. So like, wow, in turn, you know, I just think it's pretty smart in that realm. And then like also too, you can get a property manager, which really he's going to handle everything. You're just kind of like the one that's saying, I don't want to say yes and no, but like think of almost like a silent partnership. Yep. That's kind of what it is.
I'm thinking of even all these like vacant spots in plaza and stuff.
There's so many.
There's
so many.
The property value is only going to go up. I am inspired right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited
like,
for that.
I'm going to spend my whole weekend researching commercial
real estate. But, like, even in Matthews, like, I will just say there's this huge commercial space. It was literally empty for years. And they have a Hopkins going in there. Carolina Beer Temple just went in there. A New York style pizza. The guys from Rochester is opening up in there. French bakery in there. Like, there's I mean, he's making coin off that.
I mean, he had to have coin to get that.
For sure.
But to your point, you start small.
Yeah, you gotta spend money to make money, you know what I mean?
That's right. All right, we're gonna wrap up with a fun question. Who would you pick to play each of us in a movie?
Oh,
I stole it from Giggly Squad.
Oh God, that's really hard.
You can take your time, it's hard.
I'm like bad with I'm bad with like movies? Famous actors. I like know them, but like I'm bad with famous actors. Okay. Like, I feel like you're so badass and you're funny. I always say that. You got to make me laugh. If you're my friend and you're not making me laugh, you're probably not my friend. Ooh,
I know.
Just saying.
Humor is everything.
Humor is everything. I literally empty blank space. Can you ask me another question?
Hold on.
Do you like Khloe Kardashian?
Yeah.
Are you a big fan of her?
Yeah.
I feel like a little, you give me a little her vibes, which I'm a huge Khloe fan. Like,
but she's not an actor.
But oh yeah, she's like a TV person now. Okay, so like,
but you think she'd play me in a movie?
No, but I think like you can mix her with like you know, who's the chick who plays Wonder Woman?
I don't know.
She's a badass and she's hot. So if you blend them together, maybe that's you. Just saying.
Okay, I'll take it.
Sexy, funny.
I'll say okay.
Badass.
Thank you so much.
Don't ever change.
Okay. That's it. That's a wrap. I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
That was perfect.
So fun.
We could have went forever and ever.
Well, maybe we'll have to go part 2.